I would have met you in the church, but as you know, I can only be with one person at a time. And the system, the police, are just across the road. But of course, you would approve of my banning. True liberal, eh? I just think that a white liberal who clings to all the advantages of his white world, jobs, housing, education, Mercedes, is perhaps not the best qualified to tell blacks how they should react to apartheid. It's a charming idea. It was good of you to come. I have wanted to meet you for a long time. Please, sit down. I suddenly realized it wasn't just good jobs that were white. The only history we read was made by the white man, written by the white man. Television, cars, medicines, books, all invented by the white man, even football. Now, in a world like that, it's not hard to believe that there is something inferior about being born black. But I began to think that this idea of inferiority was an even bigger problem than what the Afrikaners were doing to us. That the black man had to believe that he had as much capacity to be a doctor, a leader, as a white man. So we tried to set up this place. My own mistake was to put some of those ideas down on paper. And the white fighting liberal editors started attacking me. Have you ever spent any time in a black township? Don't be embarrassed. Except for the police, I don't think that one white South African in 10,000 has. You see, we know how you live. We cut your lawns, we cook your food, we clean your rubbish. How would you like to see how we live? The 90% of your countrymen who have to get off your white streets at 6 o'clock at night. As a liberal, if you had your way, you'd be riding the buses and taxis just like us. Come, let me show you a black township. Run, son, run. It's a miracle that a child survives here at all. Most of the women who have work permits are domestic maids, so they only get to see their kids for a couple of hours on Sundays. The place is full of drunks, thuggery, people so desperate for anything they'd beat a kid bloody if they thought he had 5 pounds. But if you do run fast enough, if you do survive, you grow up in these streets, these houses. Your parents try, but in the end, you only get the education the white man will give you. Then you go to the city to work or shop, and you see their streets, their cars, their houses, and you begin to feel there is something not quite right about yourself, about your humanity, something to do with your blackness. Because no matter how smart or dumb a white child is, he is born into that world. But you, the black child, smart or dumb, you are born into this, and smart or dumb, you'll die in it. Of course, you want to give us slightly better education so that we can get slightly better jobs. But I won't be forced into your society. I'm going to be me as I am, and you can beat me or jail me or even kill me, but I'm not going to be what you want me to be. The best you want for us is to be allowed to sit at your table using your silver and china. And if we can learn to use it like you do, then you'll kindly let us stay. But we want to wipe the table clean. It's an African table. We will sit at it in our own right. You must remember, before you arrived, we had our own culture. We took care of each other. We got a lot of things right, which your society never solved. Because in your world, anything white is normal, the way the world is supposed to be. And your real genius is that for years you've managed to convince most of us of it too. We are going to change South Africa. All we've got to decide is the best way to do that. And as angry as we have the right to be, we must remember that we are in this struggle to kill the idea that one kind of man is superior to another kind of man. And killing that idea is not dependent on the white man. We must stop looking to him to give us something. We have to feel the black community with our own pride. We have to teach our children black history, tell them about our black heroes, our black culture, so they don't face the white man believing that they are inferior. And then we'll stand up to him any way he chooses. Conflict if he likes, but with an open hand too. To say that we can all build a South Africa worth living in. A South Africa for equals, black or white. A South Africa as beautiful as this land is, as beautiful as we are. We just expect to be treated the way you expect to be treated. If you are afraid of ideas, you better quit now. But once you try, you'll see there's nothing to fear. We're just as weak and as human as you are. I'm not talking about words. I'm talking about the violence in which people are baton charged by the police, beat or not. I'm talking about the firing of unarmed people. I'm talking about the indirect violence you get through starvation. I'm talking about the hopelessness, the desolation of the transit camps. Now I think that all put together, that constitutes more terrorism than the words I have spoken, and yet I stand charged. Our movement seeks to avoid violence, but we demand confrontation. Well, you and I are now in confrontation, but I see no violence. We are not unaware of the hardships which we endure or of what the government is doing to us. We want the black people to stop accepting these hardships, to confront them. In life, people must not just give in to their hardship. They must find a way, even in this environment, to develop hope. Hope for themselves, hope for this country. Now, I think that is what black consciousness is all about, without any reference to the white man, to try and build up a sense of our own humanity, of our legitimate place in the world. It's the beginning of the end. If you change the way people think, well then, things will never be the same.